Welcome to the Kendy and Raybo podcast, episode 105, recorded in Anderson's Tremendous Event Centre.
Do you want to start by singing Hail Glory St. Patrick?
Why would I start by singing, what? Oh, Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
You completely lost me there.
I mean, it's not like coming in saying, Ray, will we start with the Spice Girls this week? Like, there's a bed, there's a
tell you what you want, what you really, really want. Oh, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Okay, well, let's not start with Hail Glory St. Patrick, though. But
Do you know it?
What? Hail Gloria St. Patrick, I sang this in school, or at least I fucking pretended.
Enough.
Ireland wanted to be cool.
Stop it.
You couldn't sing in school. Did you ever get that thing in school where if you sang, you were uncool in primary school?
I don't remember anything really. My memory is gone.
Of primary school?
It's very little.
Is that abuse based? Because we alluded to it.
I'll tell you what it's down to, right?
What?
I won't name a national school because for what I'm going to say,
Killala NS. Okay.
No, it wasn't Killala. Can't be doing that. Now, in my national school, we had a principal.
Okay.
And the principal, it was his idea that as we'd come back in from break, like playing,
okay,
he would walk the opposite way to us down the corridor, right?
Why?
Because he'd have in his hand, you know them yokes for spraying plants, spraying water on plants. Like
a knapsack sprayer?
Kind of, no. Oh, actually, I think...
A handheld one.
A handheld jobby. Yeah, like your sieve. Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
For doing the countertops.
Okay.
He had one of them, but he had it full of disinfectant.
Yeah.
And he would spray it over us coming up the corridor.
Coronavirus wasn't around back then, Ray. Wait.
Yeah.
This fucking plague of a principal would spray you with disinfectant.
He would disinfect the children coming back in from the yard.
Was this foot and mouth ear or something?
No, this was sure. This is, you know me. This is back in the 1980s. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was in school in the late 1980s, early 1990s.
You seen it then. But wait, no, sorry no, because we're not going past that yet. There's so much I want to say. So he sprayed the kids with disinfectant.
As we were walking back up, we get this lovely mist of disinfectant on our faces.
Was he, we'll say, not like a neat freak, but a germaphobe?
Possibly, but you also have to wonder to yourself, that's what has me the way I am. Do you know? I had 8 solid years of exposure to this spray stuff.
And also, what's he like now, I wonder, if he's still the principal at that school?
He's no longer with us.
Do you think? All right, okay. Lord rest him. Lord rest him. But if he was around during coronavirus times, there would be a bat.
He was ahead of his time.
Yeah,
in
that's
fairness,
the thing. He saw it coming. Yeah. There would be a bath outside that school now and full of disinfectant, and every child would have to dip in
like
before.
A sheep dip.
Yeah, like a sheep dip. Or when you're on holidays, will they make you use the shower before to wash the sunscreen off yourself when you get into the pool?
Yeah.
Lord rest that gentleman. I know you don't want to name him or anything.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why did we get onto that disinfectant?
Because I thought you forgot about school. Yeah.
Yeah. Why was it not cool to sing in your school? Sure,
no, it wouldn't have been cool. Like I remember one time when 3 of us were called into a room. I think one of them might have been Ronan Parsnips.
Parsnips?
And his name was Parsons.
Right.
One of them might have been Ronan Parsnips. The other one was Kevin Flanagan, and one of them was me to call in to sing a solo during a Christmas carol service or something. So they got us in to sing Three Blind Mice, like when we were 8 years old to see. And Ronan Parsnips wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't sing it either. But fair play to Kevin Flanagan. In the holiest of voices.
He did. He went for it.
Three blind mice. And he went falsetto and everything.
Lovely.
And I remember thinking,
that's the last time I'll not sing it.
I remember because they were like, Kevin, fair play to you. You're such a tremendous. I was like, you're a tremendous singer, is he? Yeah. If I didn't want to be so uncool, like, you want to hear my pipes.
That was the start of your singing career.
And then I said, never. Next time I'm asked to sing, I'm going to sing.
And it's been happening since.
Look at me now.
Can we call the episode, is it Ronan?
Ronan Parsnips.
Ronan Parsnips.
Man, I hope he doesn't listen, man. Anyway, we might call the episode Ronan Parsnips.
Shout out to Ronan.
So, it's Paddy's week. You're going to get this the day after Paddy, so everyone's going to be hungover to bits. I'm worried about the state of the nation Thursday morning when this goes live.
Can we, first of all, acknowledge the fact that a wonderful thing has happened?
We didn't do an episode last week.
Well,
no, what else?
Yes, you may explain that.
So we didn't do an episode last week because for the first time in a year, I got a little bit of work and immediately got stressed, which brought me into the head of Raybo of working all the time and then doing a podcast in the evening.
Yeah.
I had 1 week of it, and I said,
Yeah.
Ray, I can't, man. You have no idea the stress I'm under.
I have some questions on that
Go
because
on.
you did ring me last week and you said I can't do it. And I says to you, this is fine last year when we weren't getting paid for
Yeah,
this.
I know.
But what are you going to say to the Patreon people?
I don't know what to say to them, Ray.
Are you going to give them back a portion of their contribution this month?
But
Are you going to donate it to a charity of some sort?
let's pretend we're donating it to a charity.
Right, let's pretend.
We're going to donate it to the church.
I have questions, right?
Okay.
We normally record the kind of Tuesday, Wednesday of a week.
Yeah, last while it's been a Wednesday for the last while, yeah.
Yeah, so normally Tuesday or Wednesday. But I have a question for you. Last week, when you were so under pressure and stressed, did you get any time on the PlayStation at all last week?
I think I got like 2 hours.
Do you know how long it takes to record a podcast?
If you wanted, I have an answer for you.
So that's fine now.
No,
that's,
but I have an answer.
No, we all know now where we stand.
Hey, come on, fucking hell. Hey, that's some statement. Hey, oh. A man can't relax is what you're telling me, Ray. For an hour, you can't even relax for an hour.
I suppose Nanderson's wouldn't be open at that hour of the night.
No, how are we supposed to record at 2:30 in the
and
fucking night?
can we please give a big shout out?
Yes, we can.
Luke Stevani.
Yeah.
You might hear it now in this particular recording.
This is going to sound like we're in the box room, this record.
Luke Stevani is a whiz kid mastermind in the studio. What's the name of the studio?
It's called Luke Stevani's...
Blue Room Recording Musical Instrument Room Abroad in Grange Studio.
I thought it was called Luke Stevani's Music Fashions.
So anyway, yeah. Luke anyway has a wee studio, but he's loads of fancy gadgets out in the studio, and he's got on to us a couple of weeks ago and he says, I can't be dealing with the background noise from Anderson's tremendous event centre and wonderful food items.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, what we have done is, or what we will do, because I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to send this to him.
Yep.
He's going to remove all the background noise. So look, listen.
It sounds like we're in the box room, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's even added in the chair squeaks.
Enough said. A big thank you to Luke out there.
Thanks, Luke. Big
from,
shout out.
Luke's Music Fashions.
Send us on an
Outgrid.
invoice.
I really want him to change the name of his studio to Luke's Music Fashions.
I'm sure now he'll give it due consideration after this.
He better. Anyway, so that's where we are now. So we're recording 2 weeks after the last time we recorded.
Yes,
Because
and-
Kendy, in fairness, I wasn't stressed out though. Can I just allude to that?
Yeah.
I just hadn't fucking time.
Right, when was the last time you washed?
Oh Christ, are you saying that for a reason?
Well, it's just you look dishevelled. It appears the stress has had quite the...
Shit, man, because I'm going through something right now, actually.
What are you going through?
I'm going through the stage where Rory's Maitland is closed.
Yeah, right.
And
We're all going through that.
yeah, I'm growing out my hair, and it's annoying the head of me, literally
Is
annoying
it annoying
my
your
head.
ears?
Yeah, I cut around my ears though.
Yeah.
I cut around my ears, and I thought this looks fashionable. And when I wash it now, I look like I'm Kendy from the 90s, like with the fog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I washed my hair yesterday, right?
Right.
Which is why last time I showered, Ray. Thanks for asking.
All right.
Yesterday, put a wee bit of gel in it,
Yeah.
and then I thought today, oh, my hair looks really nice today.
Yeah.
And then you come in and say, Jess, you don't look great, Kendy.
No.
Fuck it anyway. I have to rethink this.
But we're all struggling with this sort of crack, you know? So,
Nicola bought me hairbands for it, though.
what?
Yeah, so I am going to try and use some hairbands.
Hold on, this is like a lady thing.
Yeah, it's the ladies' parts. Yeah. But I love ladies' parts. Listen, she bought me hairbands so I could pull my hair back so that it's not in my face when I'm playing PlayStation or working on some other projects in my little room.
Okay.
So I'm going to wear those hairbands. I might put a picture up on our Instagram of Kendy in a hairband.
I have a sister.
Yeah.
I won't name her.
Just in case. I have a sister, I'm not naming her. So
I'm not naming her.
it's just completely confidential now.
Confidential, just between me and you.
Yeah, okay.
She had a hairband.
All right.
Yeah, wore it a long time.
Okay. Same one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Back in the day. Just be careful of them hairbands.
Why are you saying that to me?
There was ramifications for her choices.
Lice.
Certain hair went a different colour.
What?
Yep. Leave it at
I'm
that.
not wearing a fuck. I'm
Just
not
be
wearing.
careful with hairbands.
Her hair went a different colour because she was wearing a hairband.
Under where the hairband was.
It died.
It just didn't die.
As in died twice. Like died as in the hair died, and it was also died because it died.
No, I just don't think it looked like the way it used to look like. I think hair needs to see the outside.
It needs to see the light.
Yeah, if you have it under a hairband like you were going to do, be careful.
Ray, thanks so much for that information. I'm
Yeah.
like,
and for everybody out there, be careful of hairbands.
everyone out there is now very acutely aware of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be wearing hairbands too long. Your hair will change a different colour.
Yeah.
Anyway, that being said,
Yeah, right.
It is Paddy's week,
Yes.
which is actually, and I know everyone is saying this, it is now a year since we got into this whole mess.
Yes.
It hasn't been a mental year.
It has. In fact, this Paddy's Day last year, we did a live stream.
That's fucking right.
Can't do that now because you're too busy.
That live stream got pulled off the internet.
What?
Do you remember they pulled us off?
No one pulled us off.
We got pulled off this time last year, Ray. How would you forget such a thing? Me and you got pulled off last year.
The best part of that particular, I'm trying to move on here quickly because we can't be at that.
We need to talk about it.
The best part of that was the fact, my background, where I had all the shopping.
Yeah.
I had just done the
panic buy.
The panic buy.
Yeah.
I still got the bottle of Paddy in the press.
I'm not.
It's that shite whiskey that I wouldn't even dive into it.
What if they want to sponsor us? Take it easy. Paddy's lovely. Don't
Right.
worry about it. No, but isn't it funny? That was actually a thing like that. People were Remember the toilet roll?
Yeah,
Don't
loads of it.
fucking panic buy toilet roll
And I
quick.
had 6 boxes of Nexium to keep me going for at least 6 weeks.
And now none of that came to fruition really
Yeah.
like that. We'd have to start. But we are, I would
Yeah.
argue, and in the same predicament we were.
Oh,
we are
nothing's
no
changed.
further down the line.
Do you remember your last gig?
Before all this kicked in.
The Blind Tiger.
Oh man, do you remember?
Yeah.
And it was like we knew.
No, it wasn't.
As I say it now, right? We are now a year into our 2 weeks of flattening the curve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're a year into the 2 weeks.
We're still flat out flattening.
Yeah. A year later, we were still trying to flatten out the curve.
Mm.
We went in that Thursday night that the musical, The Boy from the Far Side of the Kendy, got cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
And we drank like it actually was going to be the last time that we'd get to do that.
Yeah.
We got walloped out of it.
Walloped out of it.
And then we sat down for a year.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Give or take a few weeks in the middle.
Would you say you're a better man now?
No.
Right. Sure, I suppose the only thing that's changed is you're stressed out and you wear hair bands.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and is that enough, like, to change in a year? I don't think so, really.
Are you fitter?
No! What are you on about? I'm way less fit than I was.
I suppose I know the answer to these questions. I'm only
Yeah, you're looking at me.
Yeah,
You looked me up and down when you said that. Are you fitter, are you?
Now, don't fret. I have put on a few poundings.
Have you put on the few?
I have regressed slightly.
I wouldn't think so, Ray. I think you look absolutely gorgeous.
No, that's not what the weighing scale says to me every morning when I stand up on it.
Wouldn't it be class if there was a weighing scale that called you a fat shite?
I don't think it'd be very motivational.
Like if you got up on a weighing scales and it said, "Get me stomach, get off me, you fucking weigh a ton."
Isn't that an old jibe? He wouldn't get up on a weighing scale, so he wouldn't. Sorry.
There should be. I'm going to patent and pen that. But so you reckon you put on some pound as well? But you lost weight over this lockdown, though.
I lost
100%.
weight up to Christmas, and then I had crack at Christmas, and I haven't been able to get rid of it since.
So are you lighter now than you were this time last year? Though?
Oh, geez, still, yeah.
100% you
yeah,
are. So you're
yeah.
on the right side of it, like.
Just about.
And I mean, nothing's really changed here. Like Sligo putting on a huge effort, Ray, this year. Did you know that, to put on some online stuff?
Well, this is something you need to talk about because this is what has you so stressed out.
This is what has me the way I am, as Evan would say. Because we've been working on the online Sligo St. Patrick's Day Festival. Some videos have gone live, and there's a live stream tomorrow, which means nothing to you because it's yesterday.
Over now.
Yeah, it was yesterday, and it was a disaster. It went all over the place. And
I heard you had the pleasure of editing together some old shots from
Sligo.
And people were spotting themselves in it.
Yeah, it was great. So what we got from the RTE footage archives, footage from 1982 up to 2009.
Wow.
Now, not every year. There was a lot of years missed out, but we got loads of Sligo parade footage.
And this would be especially interesting to our international listeners and anyone who's not from Sligo.
But it was interesting to me, though, because I'm not from Sligo.
Right.
I didn't know anyone in the video.
No, well, of course you wouldn't because you're a blow-in.
Yeah, I know, but it was still great crack watching the crack. I'd love to get a Casserie one, because 100% there is something there of me dressed up as like Mike Tyson or something. I think Raymond dressed up as Mike Tyson for a St. Patrick's Day parade.
When you say he dressed up as Mike Tyson, did he go the whole way?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he went whole hog or not, because you can't do that.
You can't do that now.
He'd get cancelled for that now.
He would.
I mean, did we talk once about the clip from Italia 90 when the kids were watching the matches?
No, go on.
There was a child in the background of an RGE clip dressed up as Paul McGrath. And he made it as realistic as he could.
Right.
You know? I think it was a girl, actually. She made it as realistic as she could.
Yeah.
That girl needs to be cancelled now, if I ask me.
Isn't it mad, though, too, that Tony Travers is the only man in the history of men that has been able to do it and get away with it?
He got away with it. He dressed up as B.A. Baracus.
Yeah, because he was just funny.
Yeah, and also I once saw B.A. Baracus like choke out, I think, like a bear or something at a St. Patrick's Day fancy dress festival in Castlereagh. We were drinking in the Stagger Inn, and I turned around and B.A. Baracus was choking out someone in a bear costume. And I thought, that's could only happen in Castlereagh.
Good times.
Now, yet again, that person went whole hog as B.A. Baracus. They weren't, of his ethnicity.
Yeah.
And they should be cancelled as well, if you ask me.
Right. What were we talking about?
I haven't a clue.
Paddy's Day, you're doing a heap of stuff, online stuff. It all went awry. It happened yesterday.
Yeah. And it is where it is now. Now, the one thing I will say about the Patrick's Day Festival in Sligo is that they didn't really talk enough about, like, St. Patrick's links to Sligo,
Is there St. Patrick's links?
There's loads of links to Sligo. Like, I think he did his leaving cert in Sligo.
Where? Which school?
I think he went to Grammar. No, I think he went to Grammar.
Is the Grammar an all-girls school?
No, it's
okay,
not.
good.
No, that's the Ursuline.
Yeah, okay.
I think St. Patrick did his leaving cert in Sligo. I think he got 480.
Right.
And I think he ends up doing commerce in NUIG.
Why in NUIG? Would it not be Minute?
No, he went to
Would a fella like
NUIG.
that not go to Minute? Would that not be how Minute started? Do you know, of all the places you pick,
I love the way you're like, I should have went to Maynooth.
you're like, yeah, well, if we're going to be talking shite, let's talk accurate
No,
shite.
no, this is accurate shite, Ray. You know he actually got second place, like, in Mosney for handwriting. He did, Ray, so stop looking at me like that.
Talking about talking shite.
Yeah.
Can we do a correction on the last episode?
Oh, what do we say?
You said that the Duchess and the Duchesses of Sussex,
Yeah.
right,
Can't live in Canada.
can't live in Canada because of royals and it was an invasion. I looked that up after.
What does it mean?
That's totally lies.
That's not lies.
It's
I looked it up
lies.
after as well. He can't take residence in the Commonwealth.
That's a bag of shite. Of course he can.
Hey, listen, if there's anyone out there with some royal, like, that can tell us about something to do with this, I think it's true.
Did you watch the interview?
No, I didn't watch the interview.
Okay.
With Ian Wright.
What? With who? Was it not Oprah?
Someone put up on Facebook, I can't wait to see the two royals talk to Ian Wright dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire. You know Ian Wright, the old Arsenal footballer? Oprah is the head off of Ian Wright. The best meme I saw from the whole lot, and I don't know if we've said this yet because I've lost track of time. Someone said, I can't wait to see two millionaires talk to a billionaire about oppression. Have you ever heard that better in your whole life?
It's true, but they're stuck for the money.
Here's the thing, right? Are we... fucking correct me if I'm Kendy. Am I supposed to feel sorry for the royals after watching some of that stuff? Like, is that the idea, Ray? I watch Harry and Meghan and I go, you poor divillinsy. Did I see someone set up a GoFundMe to pay off their house in LA?
Okay.
What? What? Stop! Be telling me this kind of stuff. You're driving me demented.
But you know something, and it's something I've always said. It'd be great if people had how would you put it? Someone like yourself. You know, when they get the email in from Oprah and dear Harry and Meghan, any chance you'd be interested in doing this? And of course they'd chat with their usual people because they're in a bubble. You know, for COVID purposes, they're in a bubble.
Yeah, and they're fucking in a bubble in their can as well. But
yeah, but imagine if they had a Kendy, right? Just sitting in the living room going, what's that about? Oprah wants to interview us. I don't know, would you actually say no? Are we supposed to say sorry? I think you'd be going, Oprah, oh my God, this is marvellous. Harry, Meghan, go for it.
Well, that's the thing.
Can I come?
Because it's no skin off the back of Harry's Mickey that I'm giving out about him here. The back of his Mickey looks the exact same because of it.
Would you be shocked if he actually listened? Because he can. He can easily look us up on the Spotify and he can listen.
Yeah, but will he?
But he might.
But let him. This is the thing. This is the point. Listen to the point. Kendy, go
really
make
raging there now. I was going to make a Will Leahy joke. You said Willie?
Willie?
Yeah,
he listens as well. So the point I'm going to make is that, I don't give a shite when 2 millionaires are giving out about oppression and we had an awful time. The fucking soup was rotten one day. I don't give a shit. But they shouldn't give a shit either, because when Oprah rings them up and says, how are you caping, Harry and Meghan? I'm going to give ye 50 million to do this interview with me. Of course they're going to say, yeah, I'll go on and talk about the oppression. I'm going to get 50 million off you. So I can't. They're laughing at me, not me laughing at them.
Were you feeling sorry for Piers?
Who?
Piers Morgan.
Not particularly either.
Right.
Because here's the thing about Piers Morgan. He wants to go on to these shows, right? And he wants to be the controversial guy.
Okay.
But then when it got way too much for him, he said, no, I'm fucking out of here. I'm not talking about this anymore.
Yeah.
You were built to have an argument. You built a whole career off having arguments, Piers Morgan.
No, you don't want to talk about it.
Do you know what I mean? And then, And he didn't even get his comeuppance, like.
Yeah.
He just got vexed. So vexed that he said, I'm not dealing with this argument. That's why you're around, Piers Morgan. Nothing else about you is interesting. You're there to have arguments. And now you're storming out of the place, ripping your mic off, and fucking, what the hell, like?
But your man...
Why are people getting so worked up?
Jesus, Kendy.
I'm getting worked up as well. But why did this explode? Why is this such a big thing? And also, is it entertainment, right? For us watching it, are we watching it because it's entertaining or because we really are heartfelt about it? If we're watching it out there because it's entertaining, I don't give a shit because that's perfect. That's what Geordie Shore is about.
I suppose it's someone...
That's what Love Island is about. If you're watching it to get entertainment out of it and you enjoy it, then you enjoy it. But if we're looking at it going, geez, I really feel sorry for Harry and Meghan, like that's not right, like the poor devils, then fuck off. Jesus Christ.
It's
like
family drama.
It is family.
Except it's big family drama.
Well then I think that's okay then.
Did you see poor Philip? Prince Philip, he left the hospital this morning.
Why, what's
the
wrong
man
with him?
looked fair shook.
Huh?
He looked every one of his 100 years.
He was wearing them all, was he?
I swear to God, it actually, I won't lie, it looked like they just brought, that he'd gone 2 weeks and they still took him out. That's how bad he looked.
What's wrong with him?
He hadn't been drop a heart surgery.
Jesus
You know,
Christ.
but
At his age.
I was imagining him coming back to the house, back to Buckingham, right? Into the palace, and he says, how's it going, Lizzie? And Lizzie says, "Jeez, I'm delighted you're back. You heard the crack, did you?" "I did."
Yeah.
I'll get young Harry on the phone now and I'll sort this all out.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Like, does he ring him the same way that your old fella'd ring you, like after a podcast and go, Jesus, Ray.
Yeah.
Why'd you have to go and say that, like?
Do you know what he said to me? Speaking of ML.
ML or Will?
No, not Prince Philip.
Okay, yeah.
ML gave out that I didn't know the club Clavies. Clavies or Clavies?
Michael Glavies.
Clavies.
Did he get? Does he know Glavies?
Yeah, he says to me, he said, "You'd want to brush up on your knowledge of club football." That Kendy making an absolute Egypt on the podcast.
I love that even after all these years, sporting wise, you're still disappointed him. He's still going, Jesus Christ, you hadn't a clue, that fella.
Yeah.
One more point, Ray, on the Harry and Meghan, and then we leave it alone.
Okay.
Another article went out that said this is the worst scandal to happen to the royal family in 85 years.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, was Prince Andrew not done for kidney diddling?
For kidney diddling?
No, kiddie diddling.
Oh, good, because I
Diddle he used to go on a plane with Jeffrey Epstein Diddley. And Diddley used to go across and Diddley used to meet some people that he shouldn't have been meeting.
Yeah.
And you're telling me
this is the worst scandal.
that the controversy is that's the worst scandal of all time.
Yeah.
Well, diddle I say to you, diddle he, diddle I, diddle everyone. No, that Prince Andrew thing is way worse. They had an island, Ray. They had an island where they said, choose any size, any shape, whatever you want, man. Take it.
I feel like this podcast has been mostly Kendy's take on the world.
Well, we missed 2 weeks, like, and a lot happened in that 2 weeks.
Fairness. Oh, I have notes.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
I have notes. Bear with me now 1 second. I'm going to get the notes out. Well, I suppose I'll start with the sister Joanne.
I do, I know her, yeah.
And she'd have a fiancé.
She would.
Yeah.
Michael, his name is.
Michael.
Yeah.
Another Michael in the family. Just what we need.
ML2.
He sent me on prohibited degrees of kindred and affinity. Right? Which is basically, you might have seen this already. They were doing something marriage related because the marriage is coming up. And a person may not marry there. Right?
They're who, like?
I'm going to give you their grandparent.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, this is good to know.
Spouse's grandmother.
Nicola, you and my granny. No, go on, yeah.
Parent's brother. That'd be an uncle.
You can't marry an uncle.
Yeah, a parent's sister's spouse. So an aunt-in-law.
You can't marry them either.
No.
Ray, I have seen some videos online to the contrary. I've seen relationships between these kinds of people.
You can't marry your child. You can't marry your child's husband or wife. You can't marry your grandchild. What? It's mad. This is an actual thing.
Yeah, but there's one thing you didn't mention so far yet, Ray, of all that list. Can you marry yourself?
No. You can, yeah. You can marry yourself.
So above all of that, right, you can't fall in love with your third cousin's ex-fiancé.
You can't marry your old lad.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to. I mean, I'm surprised me old one married me old lad, like, if I'm being honest, like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
But I saw a video of a lady, speaking of ITV, you know Holly Willoughby? And
Willoughby.
Yeah, and Phillips Schofield.
Yes.
They were chatting to a woman abroad in America.
Right.
They're batshit crazy, the Americans. I don't care who knows it, like, if they're listening.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you? Will you pull yourselves together for the love of God, right?
I'm delighted you've raised this. Tell me your point and I'll get into my little bit.
Perfect. They were chatting to a woman abroad. She might have been in Minnesota or somewhere. She married herself.
Yeah.
And when she brought herself up the aisle,
Yeah.
she took out a mirror and she shifted herself on the aisle. You may now kiss the bride, fair play to me. Like that shit.
On the mirror.
And everyone said, like, can you imagine being at that wedding? And you have to sit there, right? Clap. Me and you are sitting there, Ray, clapping.
Yeah.
And I'm just going, Ray, just fucking go with it, okay? She's happy, so just fucking go with it. Like, if that woman was around in Ireland in the 70s and 80s, she would have been institutionalized.
She would have been.
If you walk up to me in the 70s in Ireland and say, Kendy, I want to marry myself, I'd say, look, Columbus is there, right?
But these days, it's okay. Let people off do what they want.
I mean,
As long
to a
as they're
certain
not
extent.
hurting anyone.
And as long as you're not marrying your uncle, as you say.
Exactly. Now, you mentioned there about Americans.
Yeah.
Lately,
I made a broad statement about them, yes,
yeah,
okay,
and,
Ray.
and I have to also remind you that at one point in many, many podcasts ago, you mentioned that you went to a gig up in Dublin. My favourite murder.
First of all, that's true. Secondly, I hate when you bring up stuff that I did because I know I'm going to get caught out.
No, you're not going to get caught out. You, at the time, you said you went with Nicola.
Yeah.
To the My Favourite, is it Murder or Murderer?
My favourite murder podcast.
And it's two young ones that does this podcast.
Yeah.
And they did a gig in, where was it up in Dublin?
They did a gig in the Board Gosh Arena.
Yeah.
The whole idea of My Favourite Murder is that they both bring a murder to each other because they're both murder fanatics, which we all are. We all watch them Netflix shows.
Yeah.
It's like that.
That's what happened. Now, at the time, I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy your night? You said it was full of feminists.
Okay, let's be careful. I said to you in confidence, Ray, that it was full of feminists.
Oh, I thought we had said that in the podcast.
No, well, maybe I
right.
did. Maybe I did. Here's the thing about their clientele, right?
Yeah.
It's feminists. I have nothing wrong with... I don't care if you're feminist or not.
Yeah.
My problem is, the feminists are very similar to the vegans.
Right.
They won't leave you alone. So, what I mean is, they want to know why you're such a bastard.
Right.
You know? And I'm going, look, we're all just trying to navigate the world, lovey, like.
Yeah.
We're all stressed out. Don't be
Yeah.
worrying about it.
Well, lately, young Laura tore into listening to My Favourite Murder.
Oh, did she?
She did.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And she's 100 and something episodes in at this stage.
Oh, that is class.
It's not. It's not.
Right, okay, it's
Well,
not.
it's class for me because she'd be telling me these stories, right, of these terrible things that happen. And it's always Americans.
Yeah, it's always... But I told you, Ray, they're
The
not
world
well.
is mental.
They're not well, lovey.
They're not well. But anyway, and it makes for great listening, in fairness. But there was one story that sprung out at me.
Oh,
Now,
lovely.
lads, first of all, My Favourite Murder is a podcast, and if you're into this sort of true crime stuff, go and listen to it.
It's brilliant.
It's very good, in fairness. And Kendy has gone to one of their live show, which I think is one of the...
Well,
you know-
like, the one thing I will say about that live show experience before you get into your story is that, I mean, I was a fish out of water, like.
I'd say that. Did you enjoy it?
I loved every second of it, and I love the two women. I've nothing against them. But landing in, like, to where everyone is dressed a certain way,
Right.
you know,
How were they dressed?
Feminist, and, oh, shit. Okay.
Welcome here, Fidelma, and she's sporting the summer trend feminist.
But what did annoy me about it is, and this is what annoys me about that certain trait,
Yeah.
is I went to buy some merchandise for my little sister Ellie, who also loves that podcast, who put me onto it. And every single bit of merch that they had
Yeah.
said...
Stay sexy and don't get murdered.
No, but as well as stay sexy and don't get murdered, which is their slogan, which is a
Yeah.
great slogan.
It is.
Every bit of merch they had said, fuck the patriarchy.
Right.
Literally 3 words, fuck the patriarchy. And I'm like, who was going to wear that around the town? Like,
Who was
Ellie,
the
I got
patriarchy
to...
again?
It's men ruling the world.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you supposed to buy that merch and wear it around the town? Like, if you're tipping in, I have a meeting there, like, with someone, and you walk into that meeting, your man's in a
You
suit.
can't have the F word on that.
You can't. Like, why does your merchandise say
But
F
look, we won't
words?
get into that.
Well, we got into it, Ray. So, anyway, go. I'm just saying.
One of this, she obviously herself's been telling me many, many stories. Mm-hmm. You know? Because
Yeah.
all you can do lately is walk. So,
You better be saying something while
on
you're
many
walking.
walks, this has been the topic. And one particular story popped out at me,
Okay.
right? And I says to myself, it'd be good crack if I run it by you.
Oh, brilliant. I mean, I love this.
Would
That's
you enjoy
great.
this now?
Yeah.
This caught me.
It'll be interesting to know if I know this one.
Yes, because have you heard these podcasts? You have.
I mean, I can't say I've listened to all of them and remember every single one of them.
Right,
You know?
okay.
So let's see if I remember this one.
Well, and I'm sorry to all our listeners who are not into true crime. We are now going to verge into true crime for a
Ray,
minute.
feck, who's not into that stuff
And
now,
we're
boy?
going to make an absolute hames of it.
Yeah, well, let's make a hymns.
And-
This is called Kendy and Raybo's Favourite Murder.
Right. Ooh, that's really good. Have you ever heard of a fella called David Parker Ray?
No, I haven't, but I love the fact that his name is Ray.
Yeah, it's a
That's
bit of a
wonderful.
link.
And also, do you know why his name is David Ray? Right?
No, I don't know why that.
No, his name is David Ray, but they call him David Parker Ray because they always put in people's middle names when they are like mass murderers in the public.
Oh.
Because if your name is David Ray, they don't want you to be associated with that
Okay.
name, so they give their whole
That's
name.
really interesting.
No,
Didn't
that's
know
why
that.
it's like you know the fellow who killed JFK.
Yeah.
What was his name? John Logie Baird. No, he invented the phone. Whatever it is, anyway. Harvey something. Harvey Ross's
Oswald,
Point.
yeah.
Harvey Lee Oswald.
That's the one.
His name is Harvey Oswald.
To save all the Harvey Oswalds out there.
Yeah, they put in Harvey Lee Oswald. There you go, a little bit of knowledge from Kendy. No more than the Canada stuff. Someone's going to look that up and say, Kendy, not true.
That's not true. David Parker Ray, otherwise known, we're going to call him David.
For the purpose of this podcast, let's call him David.
Let's call him David. He was known as the Toy Box Killer.
Oh, shit, man, this is going to be jumpy.
Isn't that nice, isn't it?
Oh, lovely little name.
So I'm going to try and I have to give a shout out. I actually took my information from another murder mystery podcast thing, which is by a lady by the name of Bailey Sarian.
Bailey Sarian.
Yeah. And she does Murder Mystery Makeup Mondays, where she puts her makeup on and tells you about a murder.
And which one are you into?
Well, I'll be honest with you, it's really, really just, I don't know how to describe it. You're just very settling watching it. You know? I don't know, there's just something settling about it.
About the makeup side of it?
Yeah, she's just tipping away, putting the makeup on. She's good crack too as well.
A lot of blinking when women are putting makeup on. That's what annoys me about putting makeup on.
A lot of what? Oh, a lot of blinking. Oh,
They're always fucking blinking.
I don't
Ray.
have a problem with blinking. Anyway.
Either close them or open them.
Anyway, I have to give a shout out to her because that's where I got my stuff from.
Okay.
Do you know? David was born on the 6th of November 1939. Now, it's great. He's dead.
Thank the Lord.
So we can say whatever we want about him. There's going to be no chance of him coming back going, don't be saying shit about me.
Okay.
Right?
Lovely. Thank God.
Now, and a great thing about this story is a lot of very interesting place names. Starting off with the place he lived when he was growing up. It's called Mountain Air.
Mountain Air,
New Mexico. That's
Okay.
where he was brought up. He was brought up by his granddad.
All right, okay.
Because
can't marry him. Okay.
Well, no, you can't marry the granddad.
Can't marry the
No,
granddad.
problem with poor old David now. Davy, we'll call him. Davy, anyway, his old lad and his mother, they split up when he was about 10 and they got a divorce. Apparently, the mother was a bit of a drug addict, all that sort of stuff.
She was into some stuff.
She disappeared.
Okay.
Right? So, rather than staying with the old lad, he ended up moving in with the granddad. Himself and his sister, Peggy.
Oh, a
There
good
we-
Irish name. Good woman,
Yeah,
Peggy.
so there was Davy and Peggy living in with the granddad. The granddad was very into the rules. Do you know?
Okay.
He kept them very, very straight.
Was he a staunch religious gentleman?
I don't know.
Probably.
Why are you poking holes in my research?
I'm only fucking saying. I'm into it already. Keep going. man.
Anyway, the old lad, apparently, his old lad was an alcoholic and all sorts of bad things. And he used to call in the odd time, right? And with him, he would bring pornographic material.
Oh, you up out of it, yeah.
Like, I can't imagine what it had been like when I was 13 or 14 living at home and my old lad had come home and there was a couple of interesting magazines there now. Get a little look
Wait
at
to
that.
see your man now, page 12.
Oh, I tell you, she's tied up all different ways. Do you know?
Yeah, that is awful. Like,
It's an awful thing to happen to a lad.
how old is? I love that we were calling him Davey now. You said David at start. Now we're
I'm
calling
making
him
him
Dave.
kind of, you know,
I mean,
accessible.
all that's left to do is call him Dave now.
Let's call him Dave.
Let's call him Dave then. Okay.
Oh, I know, I like Davey.
Okay, well, let's
Yeah.
stick with Davey.
Anyway, Davy's living there with the granddad. The old lad's calling in the odd time, throwing him bits and pieces of pornographic material. And
Dirty, innocent, good for nothing bastard.
Yeah, that's basically it. After that, he was bullied a lot in school too,
Right, okay.
right?
I'm seeing some parallels here, right? Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, then he went in the army and he became a mechanic, right?
Right.
And also to tell you, he was married 4 times. This
Oh.
lad has been through the mill.
This is ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
And divorced 4 times,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah. And he had 2 kids, both daughters.
Right.
Right. Have you kind of an idea what a Davy's like?
Yeah, because I have heard this story many times before from listening to My Favourite Murder.
Oh.
Is the same things always happen. Alcoholic mom, alcoholic father, split family, living with a bastard.
Yeah.
Brought into stuff that he should not be brought into way
Absolutely.
too early.
Yeah.
And
Now,
then,
we're not standing up for him.
no, I'm just saying this is what happens though to these people. They all have the same run-of-the-mill
And this was back in the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah.
Do you know? Anyway, people said at the time, right? Fierce, nice man, great for fixing things. He was good crack, always willing to help the friends out. So
Right.
nice fella.
Yeah.
Do you know, on the face of it.
So was Ted Bundy, bitches. Go on
Okay.
anyway.
So we fast forward and he's in his 50s, right?
Nice.
So
Jesus.
I'm skipping a bit of life here because it's a short podcast. We're not going to get into it.
You skipped about 40 years.
Yeah, but we're not My Favourite Murder. We're Kendy and Raybo. This is a small segment,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
In his 50s, and he's living in a town called Elephant Butte.
Oh, I mean, no wonder he ended up the way he did.
And Elephant Butte, or Butte as it's called, is very close to another town called Truth or Consequences.
Wait. What?
Yeah! Aren't the Americans mad?
They're so mental, Ray.
That's what they call the town. Truth or Consequences.
What has them the way they are?
I don't know.
A truth or consequences and an elephant's butt.
Yeah, Butte. Do you know? But apparently there was a big reservoir, right?
Yeah.
In between these two towns, and it was like a man-made lake, and it was lovely because it was in the middle of the desert, and everybody thought, "Geez, that's a grand, nice spot." So elderly people who come there to spend their retirement, you get a lot of drifters, a lot of drug addicts, and a lot of prostitutes.
A little mix of everything.
Sex workers. You can't call them prostitutes.
No, you can't
anymore.
call them prostitutes anymore.
Yeah, so
they're called
sex workers.
Sex workers.
Sex workers.
Yeah.
Right. So,
even though I don't think any of them pay tax. Can I just say that, by the way? If we're supposed to call them sex workers,
yeah.
Well, like, I mean, are they paying?
I'm sure they are. You can't really.
Am I?
Look, it's none of our business.
Come on, Ray.
Okay, moving swiftly on. This is the sort of spot that makes the likes of Ballycastle look good, you know?
Yeah, okay.
In 1999, right, it had the second worst crime rate in the Murch. So it was a bad Irish spot.
Yeah.
Right? So the cops were a bit, just look indifferent at this point. Sure, look, it's a bad spot, we know.
It is what it is.
So Davey, anyway, he had a fair bit of savings after the 4 divorces, God knows how, and he had a hot new girlfriend called Cindy.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, that name.
Yeah.
Of course her name is Cindy.
He met her at his employment, which was in the Elephant Butte State Park, and she happened to be there doing community service.
What was she doing community service for?
I don't know.
Sex working.
It could have been.
I think with a name like Cindy.
Don't be taking assumptions here now.
I think she might have been sex working, Ray. I'm only saying.
Anyway, so she met her and they were happy out and they were living in a lovely big mobile home. One that would be called double-sided.
Woo!
Yeah?
Double-sided.
So he decided anyway...
double-sided.
Davey double-decided that he was going to spend some of his savings on his dream.
Which?
His dream was an empty soundproof trailer. He spent over $100,000 on an empty soundproof trailer.
I mean... I know you're going to tell me why.
Well,
eventually.
That's what now is going to be called the toy box.
Oh shit!
Now I'll tell you what he put in it. So he bought this wee trailer, stuck it out beside the double-sided mobile home, and he filled it up with supplies. The supplies included
supplies,
saws, knives, needles, surgical tools, whips, chains, straps, a fur-lined coffin, electrocution clamps, and a variety of sex toys.
He was opening up a clinic. I mean, nowadays, like, with the amount of different therapies that are out there, he could have performed loads of these avant-garde therapies. Electrocution therapy, yeah. This is called chop it up therapy.
It was a lovely bit of porn on the wallpaper.
Oh, yeah.
And he had built some of his own sex toys. So he decided not to go just buying them all in. He built his own ones.
That's innovative.
Out of PVC pipes.
Oh, that's so innovative. Man, you got to recycle, reduce, reuse, recycle.
He would include little bits of nails and things on them just to make them that little bit more, bespoke.
Yeah, honest to God, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well done.
He also got a gynecologist chair and he had a mirror on the ceiling.
Oh, that's an old school big sexy move.
And he had the big signs and things, Satan's Den and whatnot. He had it all kitted out. Typical serial killer.
As my mother would say, sweet suffering Jesus.
Sweet suffering Jesus, exactly. Anyway.
Now, let's get on to his clientele, Ray, I presume, next.
Well, there was other bits as well there, but I'm actually not going to say them. It involved, even for our podcast, it's too far.
You reckon, yeah?
Yeah.
Shit,
it was
man.
Wooden contraptions for...
Clamping.
Clamping.
And for perhaps, I know what you're saying, for keeping something where it should be.
Say.
Let's move on.
Let's not say there was he had dogs involved and there was gravy. Anyway.
Sweet suffering Jesus Christ.
Right. So now I'm going to give you how he got uncovered.
Yes, okay.
Right. It was March 1999. Okay.
Fuck me, he lasted a long time.
He did, yeah. Yeah. He posed as an undercover cop and approached a girl called Cynthia.
Right.
Right? She also was a sex worker. He arrested her because she offered him some sex. He said, "No, you're a sex worker."
No.
Handcuffed on, into the car, brought her back to the double-sided mobile home.
Right.
Right? Applied a dog collar to her neck and took off all her clothes and then chained her to the bed. Can you imagine poor Cynthia at this point? I'd say she was absolutely shaken.
Well, I'm pretty sure she was saying, I don't think this guy's a cop.
Oh.
I think, I'm pretty certain this guy might not be what he said he was.
Yeah, no. I think she had come to that conclusion.
But I'm really hoping that the story you're going to tell me is one of those savage stories where the women who are most prominently fucking victims of these wanker fellas, right? Which actually is a feminist fucking thing for me to say, but it's true though.
It's true.
She was you wanker lads who are fucking. It's either a sex thing
Apparently
or
the
it's
stats: 97% of all these things are men on women.
Yeah, do you want to know why? Because men are bastards, Ray. But we just can't fucking go around saying that. They fucking are. Usually it's either a sex-driven thing or it's just a control-driven thing because his mammy didn't fucking love him, right? That's the thing. I'm hoping you're going to tell me one of these savage stories about the women who fought back. Please tell me that's where this is going.
Oh no, they found Cynthia's body a couple of years later.
Fuck.
I know, I'm only joking.
No, you bastard, you had me going.
I'll only take a drink. Right. So Davey went to work, right? Back over to the state park, and he left Cindy minding Cynthia.
Oh, she was in on it.
Oh, she was, yeah.
The dirty bastards.
I know, yeah. Well, it's nice for couples share interests.
At least they're doing something together, because there's people that that's
people
some
that
love.
don't have things in common.
Of course, man. That's nice to see at the same time.
Cindy anyway got a call from one of the girls.
Right.
So she took the phone and she kind of wandered out of the bedroom and left Cynthia tied to the bed. But Cynthia spotted that she'd left the keys up on the old bedside locker.
Fair plates were.
So Cynthia says, I'm getting the shag out of here.
Yeah.
So she managed to get over, get the keys, and she made an awful bit of noise doing it, which was not a great idea. Cindy, of course, heard this in the next room, came in to see what all the kerfuffle was about, and instantly seen her trying to get out of it.
Right.
Cindy, anyway, as she came back into the room, made a go at young Cynthia.
Right.
To try and stop her. And she hit her over the head with a lamp. But Cynthia managed to hold herself together, get out of the wee handcuffs, and she found an ice pick which had been laying. How? Do you have an ice pick in your room?
No, I mean, who? But again, these Americans are weird, man. They keep the weirdest shit around.
Shit. In the middle of the desert, an ice pick. Anyway, she got an ice pick and managed to stab Cindy in the head.
Oh my Christ almighty.
Or in the neck. Head or neck.
What the fucking badass bitch.
Yeah. Cynthia anyway got out, wearing only the dog collar, tipped out of the double-sided mobile home, out on the road. Not one fella would stop for her.
What?
Because obviously now, that's my question to you. If you were driving in the dual carriageway and you seen a girl on the side of the road wearing nothing but a dog collar waving at you, would you stop?
Well, that's the thing, you see, because years ago you'd stop for anyone.
Right.
But there's always, my mother just be telling me these horror stories about they say, Yeah, okay. They say now, like, Mum would easily come out with that statement. Right. Well, they say now that they're waiting on the side of the road with dog collars on and then they rob your car. Like, that's easily a thing that my mother would say.
Okay, so your mother wouldn't be one for picking up young Cynthia.
No, but yeah, because we have heard all those horror stories. Well, they say now that they're naked on the road with a dog collar on, Mark, and they're only waiting for you to stop for them.
Right. Anyway, Cynthia eventually got one of the local houses to let her in. Right? And a lady took her in and brought her to the hospital.
Right.
Brought her to the hospital and got her seen to, and the police landed, and the police didn't believe a word she said.
That was another reoccurring theme of the past.
Cops don't believe them.
They just don't believe them, yeah.
No. So therefore then anyway, Cynthia's sitting there pure dishevelled and upset about the fact that all that's what happened to her. She's about 3 days up inside the double-sided mobile home.
Yeah.
Anyway, who comes into the emergency room? Only Cindy, with a big ice pick sticking out of her face.
Woo!
And Cindy's going, that's the pure!
That's her, says you.
Yeah. So this is marvellous then. So the police then go over and interview Cindy, and then they end up going back to the double-sided mobile home, right?
Yeah.
And find all the stuff there. The lamp, the accoutrements, the bucket of shite that Cynthia left under the bed.
Oh.
Everything's there. Yeah. Exactly, Cynthia said it. Said, we're onto something here now.
Then they go, Jesus, maybe your one is fucking thinking of something.
Something smells funny here, lads.
And it's not the shy under the bed.
No. So they were out anyway, and they look at the trailer out the back of the double-sided mobile home.
Yeah.
And they go in and they see all the accoutrements and the whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they find like a clipboard on the wall with a load of dates and abduction dates, like a roll call of all the young ones that he had abducted.
I know. I mean,
and a camcorder.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he had the whole lot filmed.
He had the whole lot filmed.
I mean, my favourite thing about boys like this is when they're like, just in case I get caught, I better have enough evidence against myself. Like, they just gather all this shit.
Yeah. But you know something? This book only got done for kidnapping. He didn't get done for the murder. Because they couldn't find a single body.
So they don't know if he killed anyone?
No, but they don't. I don't think. But they don't think it wasn't actually, he didn't get convicted.
Because a lot of the time, these gentlemen, Ray.
Yeah.
And I mean, I use that word strongly, gentlemen. These boys, they love when they get caught then and they say, well, do you want me to show you where I buried everyone?
Yeah.
And they're nearly showing you, look at this wonderful masterpiece I have, 40 fucking women lying in a ditch, like, you bastards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what these boys are into, so he wasn't onto that.
The funny thing about this particular case, and this is what really got me, was, do you know who one of his accomplices was?
Go on.
His daughter.
What?
Yeah, Jessie Ray.
Jesus Christ. You see, she was obviously caught up in it, like, what can she do?
I'll tell you now what she did.
Go on.
In the camcorder, I believe there was a tape.
Right.
And it was a tape of a young one in this toy box. And she had a very distinctive tattoo on her leg.
Right.
And the cops sent this to the FBI.
Yeah.
And the FBI decided, we'll try and find this girl. And they found her. And that girl then told her story, which was basically she went out one night to a bar near Truth or Consequences or Elephant Butte.
Such a fucking name.
Met young Jessie Ray,
Yeah.
who she knew from school, had a couple of beers with her because she was after having a row with the husband, etc., right?
Yeah.
Jessie Ray says, look, I'll get you home. Didn't bring her home. Brought her over to her old lad's house.
Jesus.
And she got metafustered with, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens is,
That's
your
so
man,
weird.
your man, this David Ray fella, Davey as we've been calling him,
Davey.
what he does was he'd give them drugs to induce amnesia so they forget all about it. So
Fuck.
she landed home a day or two later to the husband, not knowing what hit her.
Yeah.
And
She didn't know she was coming or going, right? As Mammy'd say as well.
yeah, she didn't know. And the thing about it was she'd have dreams then about the stuff that might have happened.
Yeah.
But it was only when the FBI came to her that she kind of went, wait a minute.
That feckin' wasn't the dream.
He did kick me up the arse.
Oh, fuck. But Jessie Ray that you're on about, do you think that's a bit of an Ozark job? Where,
I don't
do you know
watch
your one
Ozark.
was afraid of the father? I don't want to mess Ozark up for anyone, but your one is a nice pure, like, but she afraid of the father, like, and so she couldn't do nothing about it. Do you know what I mean?
I have to watch Ozark now.
Have
But
you
yeah,
not?
no, I haven't. Is it good?
Belter. Oh, watch Ozark, Ray.
Right, I'm
Watch
watching-
Ozark, man. That is, I'm so glad that you brought a story like that to me.
Well, did you enjoy that? Had
I
you heard that before?
absolutely loved it. And, like, I'm a little bit embarrassed about the next thing I'm going to say.
What's the
But
next thing?
I feel like this is probably the safest space I can say it in.
Okay.
And I don't want you to ridicule me for it, or no one out there to ridicule me for it, but I don't know what a double-sided camper is.
Double-sided mobile home.
I don't know what a double-sided mobile home is.
I don't either. I think it's one with an awning.
I mean, I thought they all had two sides on them. Like, that doesn't even make any sense to me. Like, how could they not have two sides on it?
Did you notice in that story I did reference Ballycastle?
Yeah, why did you reference Ballycastle?
Because it's in my thoughts as well.
Can't fall.
Have you heard? Now, this is now, thank you very much. I hope you enjoed our My Favourite Murder tribute.
I love that.
We might do another one again at
Oh,
some
that's
point.
absolutely brilliant. I love robbing ideas. Great
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
You can totally rob that. Anyway,
Can't think of that ourselves.
no, we couldn't. It's COVID.
Fucking COVID is
Speaking
right.
of COVID, though,
Yeah.
you know the way the vaccinations are getting rolled out.
Yeah, well, they're not because apparently they're clotting the heads of us.
Never mind
but
that.
Yeah.
That's all sorted now. But
Ray's hoping by Thursday when this comes out they've sorted
there was
that.
news this evening saying the EU came out and said that's absolutely sound.
That's shite. Don't
Yeah,
worry about it.
yeah, sure.
Hey, we're all going to heaven, lads. Hey.
Did you hear that certain parts of Ireland got maybe one too many doses of the vaccine?
Scandal alert or crack alert?
What do you mean? Oh no, people. I think it's in the knowledge.
Right. Okay.
Ballycastle.
Woo! Okay.
Got asked for 42 doses
Right.
from the HC.
Yeah.
They got 420. And you know the way it's kind of delicately stored. You have to horse this stuff out if you get it.
Yeah, it has to be in a fridge, man. You have to put it up to put the fridge up to 8.
The whole town got vaccinated.
Ray.
At the moment, the pubs are open in Ballycastle. There's people hugging and licking each other in the streets. People are sleeping in people's houses. It's crack central.
Well, do you know what? I mean,
It's the only town in Ireland that's going to have Paddy's Day parade this year.
I mean, all we can do is laugh, Ray. What are you supposed to say about that?
Same shit happened in Shneem, down in Kerry.
Wait, now. What happened in Shneem?
They got a ball of doses as well. And it was they had the observation period, so they did them in the clinic. If the whole community came together, Jazz, we have to get these out.
No.
The whole community came together. The observation period for the patients were actually in the local bar. They said it was one of the best parties they were at in a year.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, Ray, going to rip the eyes out of me fucking head listening to these stories.
Isn't that mad?
I mean, look, I don't know, do you have hope? Or do you end up going, Jez,
I do have hope. I mean, if towns like Ballycastle and Sneem are getting fully vaccinated in no time, there's definitely a holiday destination or two there. Do you know?
Staycations to Ballycastle, lads,
Yeah.
I think is what's going to end up happening.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
look.
And it's a fine spot to go to. Downhead Patrick is there.
Downhead, I don't know anything about Downhead Patrick at all.
Well, it's otherwise known as Down Patrick Head.
Well, listen, the one thing I will say is that hopefully this is the last Paddy's Day that we spend like this.
Yeah.
I want to be going out, drinking the face of myself and roaring abuse at someone next year. Is that too much to ask?
No.
You know what I mean? So fingers across all you this time next year for Paddy's Day, we can get out of it in the Garavogue River by the Fiddlers and Blind Tiger and Garavogue and the whole lot.
Yeah.
And not be fecking reduced to this shite once more, Ray.
No, I think you're right.
You know?
I think we're hopeful.
As I said, fingers across all you, Ray.
Have you any other bits at all now this
I
evening?
haven't really.
This
The one
afternoon?
thing I do want to allude to before we go anywhere and finish up is that we are doing something on the 15th of April called the Event Bite Podcast.
That's right. Do you
Now-
know how that came around?
Yeah, I need you to tell me what it is, really, if I'm being honest.
I don't really know. I do believe it's something to do with how the COVID has affected everything. Mostly tourism and the entertainment industry.
Events, is it?
Events, yeah. How COVID has affected events. And there's like a star panel, a star lineup panel, right?
Do you know any who? No?
Brendan Tierney,
Of course.
Neil
Fucking you can't-
O'Connell, who would be the brains behind Wild Roots.
Wild Roots, yeah, brilliant.
All right. I don't know anybody else.
Yeah, well, I don't know, and that's not out of ignorance, by the way. It's just me.
No, well, I probably do, but I've forgotten.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I just certainly don't know. Kendy and Raybo are hosting that event.
Yeah, see, we have it's a bit like when you were a young lad and in a band. The only way you get the band over to the house is if you had the PA.
Yes.
We're a bit like that in this situation.
I like that you used a band reference. I mean, it's like when I grew up in Cashel Park and you had to invite the boy in the estate who was shite at football, but he had the football.
Exactly.
You know?
That's why we've been invited to this event.
So we can record this.
So we kind of, yes, it's using our recording event stuff and,
Yes.
and then we'll also moderate it.
Well, now it all makes sense.
And I also have to tell you, Janice, who's organising it, she did ask us to send a photo of us biting something.
But sure, man,
And I actually, for the last week,
I have money to buy it and to buy Hinta.
I haven't been able to ask you that because I myself was deeply uncomfortable with the idea of me and you taking a photo of ourselves biting something.
Ray, that makes me hugely uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too. I'm so uncomfortable thinking
How am
about
I
it.
supposed to buy Hinta,
I
man?
don't know. I've never been asked to send someone a photo of me biting something before.
Well, look, leave it with me and I'll try and come up with something, Janice. I don't know what I might buy Hinta now.
But like, it's supposed to be a selfie, the two of us biting something.
We can't get the COVID, Ray. How are we supposed to bite into something?
Well, I suppose biting.
It wants to be a fair... Hey, we get a foot long down in Subway, man, and we'll buy Hinta either end of it.
You'd want to get a 2 meter long.
Yeah, we'll have to get a 2 meter long for the social distancing. How are you going? Can I get a 2 meter steak and cheese, please? Pepperoni.
Have you any idea what number episode this is?
This is 10 something or other.
It's 106.
Is it? Fuck.
think.
Have we done 105?
I don't know.
Who knows? The people out there will tell us. It's either 105 or 106 anyway.
Yeah, FM.
It's the feckin' 104 to 105 to 106 FM. It's the St. Patrick's Day, not so special.
Yeah.
We hope you've enjoyed yourselves.
Have you any shout outs?
Yes, I do have a shout out,
There you are
Raven.
now.
I'll tell you what, you're thinking more than Kendy is thinking.
Thank you very much. And while we're waiting for Kendy to do his shout out, I would also like to tell a small little anecdote about a trip I made to the Rover Coffee Lab there in town.
Oh, wonderful, yes.
Yeah, I went in to get a coffee one day and I do enjoy a lemon drizzle cake. Did you call me Ray Lemon McDrizzle McAndrew? So I went in anyway to get a lemon
Rolls off
drizzle
the
cake. But what they've done is, the lemon drizzle cakes in Rover Coffee Lab, they're on O'Connell Street in Sligo, they used to be bigger.
Right.
But what they've started doing now is cutting them in half.
Right.
And they're selling them for maybe less money. I don't know.
I hope so.
But anyway, they're lemon fingers, they're called.
Oh, yup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, the finger anyway, they have bags for the finger.
Okay. Finger
right?
bags.
Finger bags.
Okay.
But the problem is the bags are too big.
Right.
So the finger is lost inside the bag.
Right. Okay. I've heard of something. Yeah.
So they were waiting on supply of that. Smaller bags. So if anyone's looking for a bit of news on Sligo this week, hopefully the Rover Coffee Lab will get smaller bags in. The lemon fingers.
I'm going to get sick.
No, there's nothing funny about that.
Oh.
Like the size of the bag they handed me with the little lemon finger down the bottom of it.
Ray, stop now.
It was disgusting.
Right.
I mean, think of the environment, lads.
Oh. Okay. I'm back. Shout out to Denise Malloy, Ray.
Right.
She listened to 76 episodes in 5 weeks.
No way.
So she's probably up to date now because she sent me that message 2 weeks ago.
And she's up in A&E.
Denise,
trying to get the fucking headphones removed from her head.
honest to God, Denise said that when she walks around now, she hears me and you narrating her life. Like,
Oh, no way. Can we do that?
no, I said that's not good, Denise. Like,
Oh.
and I said we have insurance that can pay for you to get some help, like, and get our voices out of your skull.
No, we don't.
Because that ain't good. We got to do something, Ray. Anyone walk around with me and you in their heads all the time. She's washing the dishes, like, and I'm talking, going there. You want to get that cup there now, lovey? That's fucking not good,
Where's
Ray.
she from?
She's from up in Glenties.
Oh, right. Oh, she's be one of the Paddy's Malloy's crew in
Well-
James O'Malley.
Well, I think they might have introduced her to it, yes.
Or forced her to listen to it in some sort of a tie box situation.
Yeah, they could have their own soundproof room up there.
Yeah, where they've strapped people down and make them listen
Bet
to
they
us.
listen to us all the time.
Yeah.
Well, look,
they wouldn't be likely to text us after it now. in
we'll
fairness.
hear about it on the show called My Favourite Podcast after a while, is that?
That's a really good idea.
No. Denise, we love you very much and thank you so much for listening to us. And, you know, if you want to tell your friends to listen as well,
You can.
don't feckin' hesitate.
Is she
lovey.
on the Patreon? Is she paying for it?
She feckin' better, Ray. She's
I
not
didn't
paying
see
for
her
it
name
listening to
coming in.
us. I haven't seen it come up yet, lovey.
All we're doing now is guilting people and shaming people.
Yeah,
into
we
doing
should
it.
do that,
Shouldn't
really.
do that. That's bold. One last question.
Yes.
Would you ever pee sitting down?
I mean, I do it when I shite, like.
No, but would you? Imagine that transition. Imagine when you're going, you know you need to go for a poo. When you go in, you stand up to pee and then sit down to do the rest.
No, but what I mean, my point on that has always been I'd like to meet the man who can have a curly Sue without pissing at the same time as well.
But sometimes...
All the muscles release, Ray.
All
at
right, no,
that
we're
time.
not getting into this.
I'm just saying.
Because...
You asked. We're not getting into it. You asked
No,
me.
but I'm asking about pee and not the other thing.
I mean, why do you think it's better?
No, I made an admission in a conversation there not so long ago where when I get up in the morning, you know, I might be wearing my boxers and I would tip down to the toilet for a little pee-pee and I would choose to sit because it avoids any splash back.
Are you basing this on Morning Mickey?
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
And for all the fellas out there, something came to mind, didn't it?
Yeah, because what
something
I'm trying
came to
to say,
mind there now, lads, didn't it?
even though you're not awake in the morning,
Some other parts of you
other
might be.
parts of you are awake in the morning. Okay,
Right, yeah.
you can't sit down and it'll go out the gap between the fucking toilet seats. You can't sit down with that
but
thing,
you
man.
have to counter that by applying a finger to direct it.
Sweet suffrage.
You have to direct it down.
I don't know where you're pushing it, Ray.
And the only thing is, you just be careful not to hit the little the harpic yolk that Louise has put in under the toilet. To try
Everyone
and keep
out
it fresh.
there, everyone at home, make sure you don't hit the yolk that Louise has left there.
You know,
Okay.
Louise is my house. You know, everybody like
Everyone has a Louise,
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray, if that's not a way to finish a podcast, I don't know what is.
Well-
Don't sit down, lads, and piss.
Why?
Stand up for yourself,
No.
literally and figuratively.
It's fine standing up when you have a trouser on.
If you sit down as a man in this world, you're giving up.
You see,
You're saying enough is enough, and you're not fighting the battle that needs to be fought. I think that is a statement that needs to be made to every fella out there, both figuratively and literally.
sometimes you're
stand
not
up
awake
for
enough
yourself.
to stand up.
Stand up for yourself.
It's quite a big hose to try and control at that hour of the morning.
But Ray, haven't you a pair of hands, man? But you're a pair of hands, man, that haven't done a day's work. You can't hold on to that joke at all.
I have to give a big shout out to Dave of the Dermots and Daves, who'll
Yeah.
be a fellow sitter down peer at times.
I mean,
And he has made a career out of it.
I hope you're happy for what you're doing to the male race.
Why?
Because it's not. You don't stand up. Come on and stand up and fucking burp and fart and do whatever has to be done, man, to prove that we're still boys.
Thank you, Kendy, for giving us this hour of your life in this tough time for you to impart your wisdom upon the podcast fans.
It's your pleasure.
Thank you very much. We will see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe to the Patreon. If we haven't shamed you already,
Yep.
we will. What is it, just?
Patreon.com/Kendy Raybo Podcast.
Won't lie to you, the money is great.
It is.
Also, no, that's it. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We'll see you back again next week if Kendy hasn't other things to be at.
Ray, fair play to me.
And fair play to me.
Good luck.
Good luck.